Welcome to the darkened corridors of your mind. Tonight, I'm Violet Nocturne, your muse of the macabre, here to guide you into the uncharted depths of despair. Dim the lights, hush your world, and allow me to whisper a story that will strum fear across the strings of your soul. This is Violet Nocturne's Echoes of the Dark, Symphony of the Hollowed. Shall we begin? In a forgotten hamlet draped in eternal shadow, there exists an estate known only as the Sunken Manor. Time has stripped its walls of color, leaving it hollow and painted in the hues of sorrow. Stories of its legacy shroud the surrounding villages. A once lavish orchestra, whose swelling melodies once drew audiences from distant lands, met a sudden, unspeakable halt many decades prior. A catastrophe, they say, consumed the house, the musicians, and their music, leaving only a void of muted mourning. None who enter hear anything. But sometimes, if you pass too close at twilight, you'll hear the faintest strains of music, beckoning you closer. Our tale tonight centers on Elena Green, a musician with a desperation only artists seem to carry, the aching void of a failed dream. She spent her youth chasing notes on dissonance and devouring vibratos, climbing for composers whose sacred music kept eluding her reach until her heart retreated into silence. One night, browsing through an antiquarian's sale, she pauses before a faded leather-bound book without a name on its cover. Inside, its pages hold handwritten scores, unreadable compositions inked in an unusual scale, clustered notes tangled, almost aching with awareness, as if they held a memory. There was the faint impression of someone's fingerprints lingering on every note. The worn, handwritten label bore but one name: Eigengrau Concerto. Beside it lay an address, scribbled faintly in sepia: Sunken Manor, a place Elena once read about in vague gossip stories circling paranormal magazines. She senses something she cannot name stirring within her. Against the late hour, compelled inexplicably, she turns her car onto a wilderness road resembling a fever dream. Hours pass. Night thickens into its notorious black velvet bloom. Her GPS fails. Still, she feels the balance of cold fingers guiding her steering wheel. Until there it looms, Sunken Manor. Broken gates, shadows etched in ivy-concealed decay, and silence that weighs heavier than midnight. But one thing stirs the still: music, playing faintly. Or was it humming from deep within the bones of this place? She convinces herself it must be the teasing wind, undeterred as her gloved fingers push its creaking doorway inward. Inside lies devastation. We won't speak of tacky terrors, mildew or dust. No, Sunken Manor's wounds felt like fresh ruin. How could a decayed chandelier retain its teardrop prism drippings, alive enough that moonlight glint pulses eerie within abandoned scrawled remains, rich silver dust? Across atrium, canvases reveal. Opening Foldenton Gayers, encapsulatively. Hold minute line floating yours. Orchestra, brushed loblimissionally. Araga. Contemplating. Let so ex fantax. Backward stitched ends. Chevron tier. Backdrop. Symphony composers. Swap death. Deleo.